Hello and welcome to this quick video on this thing here. This is the new Speedy Bee Discharger. Now, I was actually sent quite a few things from Speedy Bee just as Chinese New Year was shutting down. The first one was this fantastic little frame. I put links down below to all of this stuff. It's a cracking little frame and very inexpensive. I think it's about $36. The second thing then I was really impressed with is this thing here. This was this thing that was released in the middle of the month. This is the Speedy Bee F405 Winged Mini. I'm a big fan of this Speedy Bee wing flight controller for wings and planes with iNav and Ardu Pilot actually, but this was amazing. This was the third thing that came along with all that stuff. Now, I was interested to get this in to have a go. This is a discharger, but it's very small and it's actually quite lightweight as well, because normally the dischargers that I've had in here have kind of been this kind of thing. Basically a whacking great heatsink that you plug the battery into, you set your discharge voltage and away you go, and it sits and it's basically just going to dissipate the excess voltage as heat and exhaust it. So the fact that this was a discharger on the website, I thought, you know what, this is really interesting. I need to try this out, because if this can discharge batteries and work in such a small form factor, this is really interesting. And I'm glad I've got it in, because it isn't exactly what I expected. This doesn't discharge internally like that other unit we've just seen. Just for those of you that are asking, that one was a Sky RC BD200. I'm just about to replace it actually, because it doesn't discharge 6S very well. But this doesn't discharge internally like that. It does have a little heatsink under here, but it's too lightweight to dissipate a nice chunky 6S battery at a reasonable current. So what's going on here? Well, there's only a couple of connections. There's the XT60 at the bottom for 3 to 6S in, so no 2S sadly. There is a balance port at the side, but you do get this additional cable, which I like, because having it round the side, some batteries, particularly with very short leads, potentially going to struggle to get to it. So this means you can just plug stuff in. It actually discharges via this port here. This is a USB-C port. Now this supports PD3, QC4+, PPS, AFC, FCP, SCP, PE 2.0 and SFCP. Basically all the high power outputs. And on a 3S battery, you can put 30 watts of power out of that port. 4S will give you 40 watts and 6S will give you 60 watts. So it's really designed to discharge the battery by running something else from it. Now the dimensions on this, it is quite small. It's 78 by 45 by 22 millimeters. Net weight is only about 56 grams. Let me kind of show you how this works. So this is a 4S battery, reasonably charged. Let's plug it in. It's going to power up. The screen is super basic. It's just kind of your 7-segment displays. There's no OLEDs or anything particularly flash. And then if we plug the balance tap into its little connector, if I click on the button, it'll actually show me the voltage of each of the cells that are connected, which is great. And then you can kind of press and hold it. It will then allow you to set what the minimum discharge level is. This is really nice actually on a discharger, to be able to just tweak this. And then when you're happy it's set, just press and hold it again. And then use the power button to kind of start and stop things. So the operation is super simple and the screen's super simple as well. Now, there's a couple of things that I like on here. I like the fact that we have a balance tap. An awful lot of the dischargers that I've had in here haven't had a balance tap, and that means that if a battery is horrendously unbalanced after a flight, there's potential that one of the cells is going to go much lower than the minimum voltage that you're trying to get to. The other thing is that the wide range of high power things that are supported via this USB-C port at the top does mean that if you do have something like a phone or a tablet or even a laptop, if it will run from something like that, you can charge all that stuff at the field from your batteries. However, for me, I'm not sure how useful this would actually be in practice. Because for me, I would rather dump the power from an unused LiPo battery back into another battery to be used somewhere else. Lots of chargers these days have the ability, when running from a DC battery power supply, to basically pump the power back into that charged battery so you can use it to fly something else, which I think is a little bit more useful. And also, I don't take those kind of things to the field. It might be handy to be able to plug a phone in and get it charged. And also, you could potentially use this as something like a LiPo checker as well. There are a number of error codes that appear on this thing. The error codes are a little bit cryptic. I was getting ER6 on one of the plays that I was doing here with one of the packs. That's a low voltage alarm. If it says ER2, it means it's overheated and it's powered off. ER3 means it's overheated. ER4 means it's over voltage and will power off, i.e. more than 26 volts. ER5 means it's low power voltage power off, i.e. below 10.5. ER6 is an alarm for that voltage, low voltage of a cell. ER7 is an alarm for 0.3 voltage differences of the cell. And when it finishes and it's discharged, it will flash and beep at you. But that relies on you knowing that stuff. And they kind of should have printed those error codes on the back, because are you going to remember that when you're in the middle of a field? So in terms of this thing, am I particularly impressed? For me, I can't really see me using this in anger. However, I am excited that Speedy Bee are starting to bring out products around charging and discharging of batteries and the conditioning of batteries, because Speedy Bee tend to bring out some really good technology at very attractive price points. So if it's them dipping their toe in the water, I'm excited to see what comes next. I would love to see a Speedy Bee charger with integration into the app and all the other things, and potentially a more substantial Speedy Bee discharger that maybe could plug in the side of the charger and actually be used in conjunction. There's some quite cute things that those guys could do. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes open. But now you know why this discharger is so small. It doesn't discharge internally. You have to have it connected to something else in order to supply the power that eventually runs the connected battery down. Thank you for watching the video. If you watch my videos and find them useful, then please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. If you really like what I'm doing here, you can become a Patreon and support the time I spend helping others and get access to lots of exclusive benefits. Link is in the video description. Remember that all the videos on the channel are organized into playlists, so you can easily use those playlists to find all the videos on a subject that you are interested in. Add Painless 360 to your searches on Google and YouTube, and it'll help you find my content for any particular topic. Thanks again for watching, and as always, happy flying.